Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Vanessa and you are watching the Exploring Oracle or the Exploracle for short. So currently, I'm going through my entire deck collection, deciding which ones to keep, which ones to rehome, and which ones I'm not sure of. I already have several videos of this on my channel and there's an entire playlist if you're interested. But for now, we're going to talk about my Scenic decks. So there's only around 6 decks in this video because this is actually a subset of a bigger collection that I had of nature-based decks, but I decided to take out some of the decks there so it wouldn't be as long. And I also didn't know where to put this particular deck, the Midnight City Tarot, and Scenic deck seemed more appropriate, basically. Okay, so probably we're gonna start with these two decks. So the first one is a mass market deck called Tarot Landscapes, and this one is the Spacious Tarot with the expansion pack. Now I put these two together because people say that they kind of feel or have similar vibes, and I've seen it in like a this or that, whether you're gonna get the Spacious Tarot, or you can just get a mass market alternative like the Tarot Landscapes. In my case though, I got the Spacious Tarot first, which made me kind of hesitate whether I would be getting the Tarot Landscapes, but eventually I did cave, and this actually arrived just this month. So this is one of the newest decks in my collection, and I wanted to show you. So it comes in this like slide out box with a top box, which is not my favorite, but I want to show you a few cards. So this is obviously still in order. I haven't really used it, but I love the images here. So it's really, actually, I don't really think that it's like the Spacious Tarot, or it really has a different energy for me. This one feels a little bit more welcoming. It feels like it's more like a fantasy world compared to the Spacious Tarot, which I'll show you later. But it does feel a little bit more welcoming. Oh my god, I love this. And I don't know, I really like how Francesca Mattioni writes that, and maybe that's why I kind of feel a lot more drawn to this deck actually than the Spacious Tarot, because I've had this for longer, but I'm still bonding with it, even though I've been working with it. But this deck, this Tarot Landscapes, it just feels, I just love the energy that I'm getting from it. I haven't read with it yet, but I just feel like we are going to get along just fine. I don't know if it's because there's also something a little bit more cartoony with this particular art style, but it's something that I really enjoy. Now, I do have to say this is a thick deck, and it feels like it's bigger than standard tarot size. It is. So just to show you here, much taller and wider, and for someone with smaller hands, this could be a challenge shuffling, but so far I think that this deck would be a good one to add in my collection. So obviously, since it's very, very new, I am going to be keeping this deck, and let's just put it to the side. I really don't get these box in a box kind of deals. It's, for me, kind of annoying, but oh well. Oh, okay, sorry. Alright, next is the Spacious Tarot. So this is an indie deck. And okay, so we have here the expansion deck. I haven't really used the expansion deck yet. I'm still bonding with the original tarot, but I have it here in the box, and it barely fits all together. It has its own expansion guidebook. You can buy that separately, and this is the guidebook for the original version. The guidebook is also well written. I do like it. It's just that, I don't know, I kind of like the other guidebook a little bit more. Cardstock here is matte. I have edged this. It doesn't come edged, so this is something that I added to the cards just to match the backs a little bit. But anyway, so this deck, it's also very scenic. It's also nature based. It just, I also really like it. It's just that I don't know. It doesn't connect as easily for me as compared to my other decks. Now, it's not in comparison to the Tarot Landscapes yet because I haven't really read with that deck yet. But I do feel it has a different energy. But yeah, I'm still connecting with it. I'm still trying to bond with this deck. Even though this deck is still something I'm struggling to get to know or to bond with, I am going to be keeping it because there is something special about this deck that I really, really like and appreciate. I think it's well done. I think that the art itself is also very different from the other decks that I own. And that is why this deck is also pretty safe in my collection right now. So this is what I mentioned that, it fits, but it almost opens. So if you're planning to keep both the original deck and the expansion here, it can close, but it's going to open up. Okay, next, let's take a look at the Midnight City Tarot. So this is another indie deck, and this is the accompanying guidebook. This is by, oh my gosh, what's her name? I can't find her name. I'm so sorry. But it's midnightcitytarot.com. It comes in this two-part box with this detail. I do like this box. Now, aside from the big guidebook, you do get this smaller guidebook inside the pack, inside the box. And I haven't really checked if it's the same because I haven't really used this guidebook much. Honestly, I forgot that I had a separate one until I was cleaning, and you can see that I actually had this piece bent. So I was just using the guidebook that was in the box. Yeah. So let's move that to the side and let's take a look at the cards. So this is what the deck looks like. It is in this beautiful linen cardstock. I love shuffling this deck. It is mostly scenery of New York City because Midnight City also refers to New York City. And I got it because I had a really great time when I was in New York with my sister more than a decade ago, and I really wanted to connect with the energy of the city again because I haven't really had a chance to come back. This deck does have some people in it, but they're mostly silhouettes, and it's really mostly the scenic or the scenes or the scenery of New York City. Admittedly though, I don't really connect with this deck as much as I thought that I would. I used this just once, I think. I just used this a couple of times, and that was when I had COVID. And I'm not really sure if it was because I was reading when I was sick that it didn't really connect with me. But I did enjoy shuffling it at the time. That was really much of what I enjoyed, and it kept me company when I was sick. But yeah, I think I'm not sure about this deck. I think this might be a maybe, although I do like shuffling it, the shuffling experience. So and also the way it fans. But I'm not really sure. Ooh, I connected with it, or I connect with it as much as I would want. So right now, it's a maybe. I'm not really sure whether I'm going to keep this long term, but it's not an outright rehome. So that is the Midnight City Tarot. Okay. Next is another deck that I'm quite unsure of. This is the Pastoral Tarot by Lisa Hunt. And I have mixed feelings about this deck. I already did a full flip through of this, and I said the same thing basically, that I'm not really sure whether I like it or not. So again, these cards are bigger than usual standard tarot size, and they are all in landscape. Now the scenery here is mostly pastures, farm life, and I love the art. I like looking at it. But when I used it, I like it, but when I keep it, I barely remember or barely want to reach out for it. I really love this moon card though. But yeah, so honestly, I don't really know what I want to do with this deck. Um, so definitely, I think it's a maybe. Actually, I have tried rehoming this deck, but it's still staying with me. So maybe there's a reason why. Um, Maybe I'm still meant to work with it a bit more, but it's not a favorite. But the art is beautiful, and yeah, the let me also show you, the backs are beautiful. It comes with this pouch and the guidebook. It also has a lot of information. Yeah, but yeah, I think it's a maybe. I'm not really sure I want to keep it. And it's, oops, it might be of better use to someone, but I've been trying to rehome it, but it's been staying, so let's just see. Maybe in a few months someone would be looking for this deck and I would gladly rehome it to them. Okay, next. Oh. Next, this is the Radiant Wilds Tarot. This is a mass market deck, and just taking a look at the guidebook. Guidebook is really well done. It has glossy pages, a thumbnail of the image of the card. And this was a deck that took me by surprise, because a lot of reviews about this deck say that it is similar to the Muse Tarot, which I absolutely did not bond with. I did not like that deck, and it didn't resonate with me. But this deck, for some reason, did. Now, I put it in the Scenic decks because I do feel like the scenery takes center stage here, like the desert, wild lands, and I like this deck. I like this deck a lot. It shuffles really well. The cardstock is like this satiny cardstock. I believe this is Rockpool, and yeah, it just shuffles really well. The gilding is not sharp. It pairs really well with the Monology Manifestations Oracle. Sorry, Monology Messages Oracle. And yeah, the readings I get from this is also really, really good. So I think we connected really well. And yeah, for some reason, I thought I held back on this deck for a long time because I said I wouldn't connect with it if it's similar to the Muse Tarot. But surprisingly, I did. And this one is a definite keep in my collection. Look at the inside of the box. See the unseen. So let me just double check. Yes, it is a Rockpool publishing deck. Next, let's take a look at two more indie decks. This one is the Walking Meditation Tarot by Daniel Norman. And this one is full, this one has two guidebooks. Basically, the meaning of the cards and a walking meditation guidebook, which I really appreciate, and I really want to do that, but I haven't had the chance. Now, this deck already comes edged in this really beautiful color. These are the backs. And it's in this matte cardstock. For some reason, though, this cardstock feels a little bit stiff for me and hard to shuffle. When I shuffle it, it kind of hurts my hands a little bit. But yeah, anyway. So this deck are mostly photos that Daniel took when she goes on her walks. And she just edited it, put some overlay designs, symbols of tarot, and made it a tarot deck. Now, I really do like the idea of this walking meditation deck, and I do like the guidebooks. But the deck itself, I don't resonate with for some reason. I still want to keep this deck primarily because of the meditation guidebook, because that's a practice that I want to develop. But I don't really read with this deck much, but I might still be keeping it for the sake of the, really getting into this meditation practice. There are some cards though, like this one, I can just look at it and imagine myself walking this path, and maybe that would help. Maybe I wouldn't be using it more of a tarot, but really more to help with meditation. But cards like this, it really wouldn't do much for that particular practice. So, yeah, it's a beautiful deck. It's just not clicking for me. So yeah, it's a maybe for this one. The Walking Meditation Tarot. Okay, let's just put that to the side. And the last deck in this category is the Flow Tarot. So this one is a very watery deck. So similar to the Walking Meditation, this is like mostly images or actual photographs of bodies of water. And this one is very calming to me. I really like looking at these images. I haven't read with this deck yet, not once, because I just look at the images. So the good thing about this deck is it also has these keywords at the bottom. But yeah, I haven't read with it, but I am definitely keeping this. There's really something about the images here, the way it's laid out, that makes me calm. I do love the water. I love, I am a water dog as far as I know. So maybe that's why I have this connection with that element. But yeah, this deck, definitely a keep. Even though I haven't read with it, you know, sometimes you don't really need, well, I don't really need to read with my decks. I just really need to appreciate the art and work with it that way. Oh my god, I don't like this card though because I am scared of frogs. But yeah. But oops. Otherwise, this deck is just gorgeous. Really beautiful. And so definitely keeping this one. And for the guidebook, let me just show you a few snippets. So it does have some spreads and the meanings, a full page image of the card, and also an affirmation at the bottom. So also a really good guidebook. And I want to, I when I have time, I will definitely be working with this. But so far, I do enjoy it more as a deck that I just look at. Okay, so now usually when I end these videos, I choose my top 3. So for my top 3, I would be choosing the Flow Tarot, the Radiant Wilds, and actually I think I'll be choosing the Spacious Tarot. So even though I am more drawn to the tarot landscapes, I have worked with this longer and I'm still also quite drawn to it. So I don't think it would be fair to choose something that I haven't really worked with as a favorite. So these are my top 3 in this category, and I hope you find this video helpful. If you did, don't forget to click on the like button and do consider subscribing to my channel. See you again next time. Bye!